So we stand on the threshold of the month of Shevat. Shevat is a remarkable month. All the months are remarkable. Each one carries its own energy. But Shevat, even before you learn anything about it, you just know what Shevat is all about, because it's the beginning of spring. It's when the Gemara tells us already Roiv Gishmei Choref, the rains of the winter have already passed, Roiv. We're over the hump. And the sap is starting to run down the trees. Things are coming to life. Things are stirring. The weather, we hope, at least for the end of the month, will begin getting warmer and the days lengthen. And there's just an energy in the air of enlivening. We quickly get used to the world as it is now, to an extent. It's harder for people who don't actually, haven't lived through their whole life. It's hard to get used to this, on many levels. But it's dark and it's cold and it's dead. But it is what it is. Like if there were to be Gzeira min hashamayim to say this is the way it'll be forever, we'd manage. We'd manage to get used to it. What a bracha! What a bracha! That the trees that we see outside now that register in our mind as trees, because that's what they are, but they're all dead. There are no leaves, and we pass people's gardens, and there are rose bushes with no flowers. Everything's going to burst into color. The clouds, we hope at some point, will part. The sky will be blue, the sun will be shining. Nature will come to life, as it does every year this time of year. The Chodesh of Shevat is a Chodesh of awakening. The Shevat of the month of Shevat is the Shevat of Asher, who's of course connected to Osher with an Aleph, happiness, joy. It's a remarkable month of Chesed. It's a remarkable month of life, enlivening, awakening. And the shirashim, the roots for that awakening, are in this month. Beis Shammai says on the 1st of the month, Beis Hillel says on the 15th of the month. But the life that's evolving beyond what the eyes can see, preparing the world for breakthroughs, mamish breakthroughs, that's Chodesh Shevat. The mazel for Chodesh Shevat is a dli, it's a bucket. And that's the function of a bucket, right? Is to pull something up from the depth, from the omek. That's what a bucket does. Something's deep down, hidden under the water. Beyond what the eye can see. And a bucket goes down into that world of Almades Skasya, to the world of hiddenness, to the shrushim, to the roots, and it's able to pull things up. So we know the Gemara Baba Basra tells us that we're living in an upside-down world. This world, olam hafuch, very easy. This world is upside down. So this that we use a bucket to describe the process of dipping down under the surface into source to be able to be doile umashke, right, to draw something up. Really, beruchnius is not it's the buckets it would be upside down, right? This lowering of the bucket, right? Where's the makar Shefa is lamala, right? It's in every aspect. So it's an upside down bucket without gravity, opposite gravity. Drop the bucket and it goes upward, trying to be shoiv from that place, from the makar. The whole Indian of the Ilanos that we're going to be learning so much about this month and in celebrating Tu B'Shvat, Be'ezus Hashem, for anybody's around, we're going to have a very special Tu B'Shvat event with Rav Ruvain Stepsky in Edgeware. It's going to be very special. We've been doing it for a few years now. Everybody's invited, of course. Bring your passports to get into Edgeware. And you're welcome to come join us there if you want to make the long and arduous journey. But Ilanos, right? Trees are upside down. Because trees, the way that they are begashmias, have their shayrish lamata. And then from the shayrish extends anafim, right? A trunk and then branches. And then the peiros grow on the tree. But be'emes, beruchnius, what a tree represents, which is the whole seder ishtalshalos, from where something begins from a root and then extends outward and then finally gives forth its peiros, is lehepech. It's upside down. The shroshim are lamala, and then the tree extends, and then the branches. The Baal Tanya makes reference to this. The Ramak writes this in Pardes Rumayim. It's an upside down elon. The shroshim are lamala. Things extend lamata, and then they branch off until finally reaching a point where they're able to bring forth their potency in the form of the fruit itself. Sof Masa, that was hidden within b'machshava tchila. So here's an amazing thing. We know that the sum total of collective interfaces of Shefa, so to speak, that enables Shefa to be drawn down to the world is the Shem Havaya. Not getting too deeply into this, essentially you have three primary Shemas. You have the Shem Ekya, and you have the Shem Havaya, and you have the Shem Adni. These are three pillars of reality. If you take a look in the Shari Ura, Parak Aleph, or what's called Shar Aleph, right in the beginning, he tells you these are the three most fundamental Shemas that exist. There are other Shemas, there are Eser Shemas, Shein and Mechakim. These three are the most fundamental because they represent Rosh, Toch, and Sof. Because like anything that you build, right, you have to have pillars. So you have a wall on this side, you have a wall over there, and then you have a pillar, right? Pillars holding it up in the middle. Everything in Metzias has to have three. You have to have a threefold structure in order to hold up reality. This is Ekya, Havaya, and Adni. So saying what we said earlier, the Shorish is the Shem Ekya, that's where the things have its root. And that's why the Tzaddikim tell us, the Ramak also, others tell us that Ekya is Moire on the Shorish by very dint of its meaning, which means I will be. Right? Or like the Zohar Kadosh says, Ekya is Ana Asida Le'izgalya. I am preparing to become. And that's relevant to the root because nothing's happened yet. It's relevant to the seed. Nothing unfolded yet. It's a bechin of Ekya. I will be. In other words, it holds the energy of potential. That's Ekya. That's the makar of everything, as far as reality is concerned. Then you have the Shem Yud Kei Vav Kei, which means Havaya, right? Something has burst into reality. That's the aspect of the Anafim. And then finally you come down into the Shem Adni, which is Adni Sefasai Tiftach. Adni is associated with speech. Adni is associated with the sphere of Malchus. It's Malchus Peh, Tar Shabbat Peh Karin Allah. The creation of the world as we know it. We're currently sitting, in, so to speak, in the energy of Adni, which is manifestation, revelation. Nafshi Yatsa B'Dabroi, right? Like we learned in Likutei Moharan Chabura recently at Shir Hashir. Nafshi Yatsa B'Dabroi. It's the Bechina of manifestation, Yatsa. It's an energy of expression. It's the Alma Deis Galia that's associated with the world of Rachel. Rachel is Adni. Leah is Ekya. Leah is the hidden world, the Alma Deis Skasya. Leah is the source. Hidden Anhaga, the Bechina of Yehuda, and that whole path of the Baal Tshuva, which we mentioned before. Rachel is the world of revelation. Rachel is like you could imagine, rosy red cheeks, right? It's like an apple. It's like Rachel is the beautiful one. Rachel is the one that's full of life. Leah is like this pale, sallow, her eyes are full of tears. She's here, but she's not here. Leah is Alma Deis Skasya. Rachel is the peiros. Rachel is Adni, is the fruit. Ekya, Havaya, and Adni. In this sense, again, with speaking very simply, because it's obviously way more complicated than this, but very simply, Havaya is the bridge between Ekya and Adni. Ekya is Rosh, Havaya is Toch, it's the middle, and then Adni is Sof. And that's the tree. It begins in its Shorish, and I'm doing this because I'm doing an upside down tree, right? So it's rooted up, then it extends, and then the fruits. Ekya Havaya Adni. So the Sfarim HaKadoshim say that Ekya alludes to the sphere of Bina. Bina is known as the womb of existence, the mother of reality. Bina is associated with the concept of Ima, the archetype of a mother, a womb that enables the Zera to become particularized, take on form. Bina is called the Aim Habanim. It's the mother of all of reality that bursts forth from that womb. This is the world of Bina. Bina is the 8th midah from the bottom, right? So if you start from Malchus, there are 7 lower spheros out of 10. Bina is one beyond 7. 7 is always nature. Bina is one beyond nature. We spoke about that also, I feel like recently, over Hanukkah, certainly. B'nei Vina Yemei Shmaina. Bina is the concept of 8. Bina is L'mala min hateva. Bina is prior to nature unfolds in the way that it unfolds. Bina is the womb. It's the singular source, the singular point from which everything extends. Bina is associated with the concept of 50, right? There are 50 gates of Bina. Why? Because 7 times 7 is 49, and Bina is one beyond. Bina is 50. Bina is the concept of that which comes beyond 7. So in numbers, right, 7, so Bina is 8, and in 7 times 7, Bina is 50. One beyond. So the Zohar Chodesh, the Heiliger Rabshitzer, writes the most amazing thing. He says that the fullness of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, channeling down Shefa from Ekya, from that higher place, from the Shirish, to allow it to manifest in Peres, has to be 12. That's the concept of Yaakov Avinu, who represents the Midah of Tiferes, that's associated generally with the Shem Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, without getting into the depth of that, has 12 Shvatim. Because there are 12 Tserufei Havaya. Because Hey and Hey is the same letter, it's interchangeable, so using the other 3 letters, right, is 12. 3 times 4. Right, the other 3 letters. So again and again and again, you're mitzaref them, and it gives you 12 unique ways of writing this name Yud-Kei Vav-Kei by switching the letters around. These are called the Yud-based Tserufei Havaya. They're associated with the Shvatim, and they represent the mediation of the Shefa from Yud-Kei Vav-Kei as it draws down from the Shirish of Bina, of Ekya, and it unfolds into the fullness of these 12 ways. Yaakov Avinu is called Mitasei Shlema. Nothing missing in Yaakov Avinu. And that's the Shefa as it comes down to the world. That's Eretz Yisrael. Mimenu Shoyse Tchila, Eretz Yisrael, right? I'll go Kala Eretz Yisrael Shoyse from Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael is Kavoyim Kala Aratzos. It's, people speak today about a 1-state solution or a 2-state solution. I like to say there used to be a 12-state solution. Right, there were 12 states within Eretz Yisrael. It was obviously one unified kingdom, but it was definitely split into 12 different shtachim, right? 12 different areas, and each one had its degel, and each one had what it represented and what it stood for, and that's how it was. That's the Shiftei Ka. That's Am Yisrael b'Milua. That, like Esther, which is always Roimiz on the Shechina, which is Knesset Yisrael, looks to each of the nations of the world like it. That's just a metaphor for Klal Yisrael. The way the Klal Yisrael represents, Klal Yisrael is a microcosm of the whole world. Ki atam ha'ma'at mikol ha'amim. Atam ha'ma'at mikol ha'amim. Al pi pshat, it means Klal Yisrael is the smallest of the nations. But you could also say, Ki atam ha'ma'at mikol ha'amim. Klal Yisrael is a microcosm mikol ha'amim. You're the ma'at, the micro, of mikol ha'amim. Like Esther. Anybody could see in Esther. Because Klal Yisrael is the 12 Shvatim, and the 12 Shvatim is the fullness of experience. Good. Says the Zohar Kodesh, the month of Shevat, Shin Beis Tes, is Gematria how much? Shin Beis Tes?
311.
Huh?
311.
311. You had one for the word itself, right? Or one for the koilel. is 312, and that is exactly Gematria 12 times Yud Kei Vav Kei. 12 Tzirufim of Yud Kei Vav Kei is Gematria Shevat. This is the month of Shevat. How many letters are there? It's a little bit more difficult. In 12 times Yud Kei Vav Kei? 48. 48 says the tzaddik is gematria, the same gematria as the word Yovel. Yovel, which is the 50th year, which is Bina. So the month of Shevat is the way that the 12 Tzirufei Havaya, gematria Shevat, are yoinik from Yovel. From that world of Ekya, from the world of Ana Zamin L'Mehavi. Ana Asida Le'Izgalia. Ekya. I will become. What about Adni? Aleph Daled Nun Yud? That doesn't happen in the month of Shvat. That's going to be for the spring, right? And the summer, Habalina L'Taiva, when everything will come to its fullness. In the month of Shvat, what's happening is that the Anafim are drawing down from the Shirish. That's what's beginning to happen now. The Shirish is awakening, and the Anafim are beginning to draw their Shefa. So he says the most beautiful thing is that Shefa is a Rosh Tevis. Shefa is Rosh Tevis Shirish, Peiros, Anafim. Shefa. I know what Shefa means? Is Peiros that are the result of the Anafim drawing on the Shirish. And that all happens, he says, in the month of Shvat. Amazing thing. That's the energy, I'll be punimius, of what we're going to go through in this month. The Makar opens up, the Makar of the Rechem, a new life is born. And the Anafim are starting to do their work of drawing down, coming down into the channels of creation. It is just sap in trees. It's the whole reality begins to awaken. Yichud Kutchabrichu Shchinte. We begin to sense the Makar HaChayim unfolding throughout our experience of reality. We know that Yichud Kutchabrichu Shchinte is in the terminology that we're just using, is a yichud between the Peiros and the Anafim. Peiros is Adni, the Anafim is Yud Kei Vav Kei, and that is what it is. It's the yichud Peiros and Anafim. When we're able to feel the fullness of reality explode with life and energy, which is the Peiros, and we're able to sort of look beyond what we have and to find the Anafim, to where did it come from? So all the tzaddikim say, Elon is Gematria 91, which is Havaya and Adni. That's in Elon. You don't see the Shirish, that's in Shvat. But when the Elonis emerge, then you have Elon, which is Yichud Kutchabrichu Shchinte, when Adni, the Peiros, are drawing down their Shefa from the Anafim. In the month of Shevat, say the tzaddikim, we're able to start to begin to see and to feel the chasadim, the kindness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that was hidden from the eye. Again, it's the sap that's running up the tree. But we can't see it with our eyes, only when things start to emerge, when things start to happen in the world. So the tziruf of Yud Kei Vav Kei, we know it's speaking about tzirufim, right? Each of the 12 months is drawing its energy from one of the 12 tzirufim of Yud Kei Vav Kei. And the Chodesh brings, or Mishnah's Chasidim really, and it's printed in Nusach Sfard Sidurim usually, in Musaf, right? To be mechavin, when a person's davening in Musaf for Rosh Chodesh, to be mechavin, one of the 12 tzirufim that are associated with the month. And it usually comes, all of them come with a Rosh Tevis of Psukim. So the Rosh Tevis of the month of Shevat is Hey, Yud, Vav, Hey. Hey, Yud, Vav, Hey. Comes from a pasuk, Hamir Yimirenu Vahayahu. This is a pasuk that's referring to Meiser. Person's taking Meiser Behema. And he counts 10, right? And he puts red paint on the 10th one that comes out the gate. And the Torah says you're not allowed to do Tumura. You're not allowed to exchange this for something else. If a person tries to exchange it for something, you have to give this one Asiri Kodesh. You can't exchange it. If you try to exchange it, that one also becomes Kodesh. You don't gain anything. You can't swap it out. That's the pasuk. That's the context of the pasuk. Says the Zohar Chodesh. We know that the word "hu" is always hinting to things that are hidden. Hu is a lashon nister. Ata is noichach, right? Ata, you address something directly. When you say "hu" about someone, it means he's not here. Hu, you're referring to a third person, right? He's not present in the dialogue. Ata means you. Hu is he. This means someone else. Someone not part of the conversation. Hu is a lashon nister. V'haya is a lashon of simcha. V'haya is a lashon of simcha. Says the Zohar Kodesh, it's in this month where we're able to begin to sense the way in which all of the who in our lives, all of the hiddenness, is hamir yimirenu. There's a transformation. There's a shift in energy, and v'haya hu. We're able to see the simcha that was hidden. Hamir yimirenu, v'haya hu. And v'haya, the hidden simcha that was hidden the whole winter, in the winter of our own lives, and what all of us experience going through our journey. Shevat, the Dili, gives you the ability to begin to draw forth Shevat Asher, joy, simcha from a very deep place. From a very deep place. And this, just to end, this is the inyan of the Machlokes Shammai and Hillel. Beis Shammai says that the Rosh Hashanah for Le'ilanos is Aleph Shvat, the beginning of the month. I'm sorry, Beis Shammai. Beis Shammai says Aleph Shvat. Beis Hillel says Tu B'Shvat, which we paskin like. But we know that La'asad Lavai we're going to paskin like Beis Shammai. What's the inyan? So the Zohar Kodesh says, also he continues, says beautiful Torah. He says, Shammai is the energy of Gevura. Shammai is din. In the course of a month, until Tesvav of the month, it's an energy of din, because the moon is not yet Bishlei Musa. And so it's sort of recovering until it gets to the 15th of the month. But in the beginning of the month, especially on the first of the month, you don't see anything. It's din. The moon representing the Paris, like we said earlier, the Shechina, not illuminated at all by the sun. It's Meira on din. Shammai is holding in such a deep place, which is why we paskin like him la'asad lavai, that like the Gemara in Pesachim says, Bayoim ahu yiyah Hashem echad u'shmai echad, and the Gemara says, V'chiyah idna lavu echad, Hashem is only going to be one, la'asad lavai. What about now? So he says, because now we make a distinction between the good things that happen to us and the bad things that happen to us, because we make different brachas. The good things that happen to us, we make baruch teva meitev. The bad things that happen to us, we make baruch ta'anemes. But la'asad lavai yekula ha'teva meitev. Shammai is holding in such a la'asad lavai perspective that Shammai is able to say, the Rosh Hashanah le'ilanos of Hamir Yimirenu v'hayahu, I don't need to see anything to be able to know that the Shvat energy is here. Mamish, like, just doesn't matter. There's a moon, there's no moon, there's a lava, I don't need to. Shammai is holding in a place of din. There's no such thing as din. Kulei ha'toiva ha'meitiv. We paskin like Shammai la'asad lavai, because Shammai, being the energy of Gevura, is going to be able to reveal to us the way in which ki gavar aleinu chasdoi. Hillel, which for us is much more relevant, like Lubavitcher Rebbe, we used to always bless people, right, that they should see ha'toiv ha'nira v'ha'niglas. They should see revealed good, because everything's good. They should see revealed good. Hillel is a revealed goodnik. It has to be on the 15th month. On the 15th of the month. Siara b'shlei Musa. Like the time of Shlomo HaMelech, 15 generations. The moon is complete. Yichud Kutshabrichu Shchinte. You want to talk about Shvat, you want to talk about the Shvat energy. I need to see at least some glimmering. I can't be stuck in mamish in the dark of the dark of the dark of the darkness. Who's right? Both of them are right. Both of them are right. Hillel is right in an oilamazetic way because we all want to see the Taiva Nirva Niklas. And that's why we don't paskin like Shefa. We paskin like Hillel. Because in Olam Hazeh, Hillel is right. But if a person's connected really to the Ar of La'asad Lavai, then already Rosh Chodesh Shevat, you can begin to meditate on the realization that Be'emes la'amitai, Shammai is right. Even those areas in our lives that seem to be din gamor, no silver lining, no glimpse of anything. From the mabat of La'asad Lavai of Shammai, in a time where the moon there's no light at all in the nighttime. Mamish dark, pitch black. The month of Shevat can give such a person strength to believe. There's a talich, there's a process. Things will get revealed. Ekya is being awakened. The deli will draw down Shefa. The sap will run from the shirish into the anafim. There will be peiros. There will be peiros. Hashem should bless us to see peiros, Be'ezus Hashem. Both on the level of the la'asad lavai dika emuna, to know that emunas chabalelos, no matter what, even when we don't see light, the bechina of Shammai. But Be'ezus Hashem, we should be able to see the Taiv HaNirva Niglis, with the awakening of all of nature, we should feel in our own lives. An awakening is chadshus, a sense of renewal, the ability to start fresh, the ability to start again. And what an exciting time. So, straight up. Ani habe vi'ata ha'av sheli shekol kach ohev oti ha'av sheli Melech Chai V'Kayah Al Kol Neshima She'ani